Ladies and gentlemen, we live in curious times. We live in times where a leader, the woman you see behind me on screens, who owes her career to street protests, decides to crack down on them with a might quite unprecedented when it comes to Kolkata police, the same police which failed to prevent a rape and murder, which failed to prevent the rapists hanging around in their barracks, and failed also to stop the probe's crime scene from being attacked by the mob. As we saw yesterday in this crackdown in the Navana Chalo protest that happened yesterday, the might of the Kolkata police was fierce and unrelenting. Today, Didi decided that attack was the best form of defense for her, and in a scathing speech, tore into the people protesting against her, tore into the CBI, the opposition BJP, and even the Prime Minister. Listen in.
কোথায় গেল বিচার? বিচার চাইতে হবে, বলতে হবে, বিচার চাই, বিচার চাই, জবাব দাও সিবিআই, বিচার চাই, জবাব দাও সিবিআই, ফাঁসি চাই, জবাব দাও সিবিআই। আমরা ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল অ্যাসেম্বলি থেকে আগামী 10 দিনের মধ্যে ফাঁসির ধর্ষকের ফাঁসি চাই এই বিল পাস করে রাজ্যপালের কাছে পাঠাবো। আমি জানি রাজার পাট রাজা বাবু কিছু করবে না, না করলে এরা মনে রাখবেন রাজভবনে গিয়ে বসে থাকবে ঘন্টার পর ঘন্টা। কালকে কারা আন্দোলন করতে? ছাত্রছাত্রীরা না গার্জেন টু কল? আচ্ছা বলুন তো, যদি বাংলার লোক হয় তারা নবান্ন চেনে না? তারা রাজভবন চেনে না? এরা কারা? এরা কোথা থেকে এসছে? কিন্তু কেউ যদি মনে করেন বাইরে থেকে এসে বাংলাকে অচল করবেন, বাংলাকে অশান্ত করবেন, তারা মনে রাখবেন বাংলার মৃত্যু নেই, বাংলা অচল হয় না, বাংলা সচল থাকে। প্রত্যেক লোককে যারা মেরেছে খুঁজে বের করা হবে এবং প্রত্যেকের আমরা চাই শাস্তি হোক। কোর্ট কি করবে আমি জানি না, বিজেপি বললেই কোর্ট ছেড়ে, মানুষ তো শাস্তি দেবে, এটা মাথায় রাখবেন। বাবু আপনার পার্টিকে দিয়ে আগুন লাগাচ্ছেন, মনে রাখবেন বাংলায় যদি আগুন লাগান আসামও থেমে থাকবে না, নর্থ ইস্টও থেমে থাকবে না, উত্তরপ্রদেশও থেমে থাকবে না, বিহারও থেমে থাকবে না, ঝাড়খণ্ড থেমে থাকবে না, উড়িষ্যাও থেমে থাকবে না, আর দিল্লিও থেমে থাকবে না। আপনার চেয়ারটা আমরা টলমল করে দেবো।
That was the curious case of India's foremost street fighter politician. We also live in very curious times, ladies and gentlemen, where a party that has historically mocked agitating people, whether it be the Muslims at Bagh or whether it be the farmers along the Singhu border as Andolanjivis, today leaders of that party, as you see around me, decided to turn into those they hate. The BJP called for a bandh today, which was vehemently clamped upon by the ruling Trinamool Congress, all in a state a very rich history of hartals and bandhs.
मैं दुख के साथ कहना चाहता हूं, ममता जी आप वही ममता जी हैं जिन्होंने रेप के विरुद्ध इतना बड़ा आंदोलन और संघर्ष किया था। मैं देश को बताना चाहता हूं कि ममता बनर्जी जी हम लोगों के साथ थी अटल जी के सरकार के दौर में और बाद में, तो उन्होंने स्वयं ये बताया था कि पश्चिम बंगाल में कम्युनिस्ट सरकार की पुलिस ने उनके ऊपर इतने आघात किए थे कि उनको मृत समझ के वो लोग छोड़ गए थे। यदि पता होता कि जीवित हैं तो शायद न छोड़ते। मैं पूछना चाहता हूं ममता, आज आपकी संवेदना इतनी मृत हो गई, बजाय आप दोषियों को सजा दिलाने के, आप वही ममता हैं। आज आप किसको बचाने में लगी हैं?
Now, regardless of what the political discourse is, 19 days after Devi was brutally raped and murdered, here's what we do not know. Number one, was the main accused Sanjay Roy, who's been the only arrested so far, was he acting alone or did he have help? Was he being aided and abetted by men within the Kolkata police who allowed him to wear insignia of the Kolkata police, even reportedly allowed him to take shelter in the barracks? Now, he did ex-principal of Ajikar, Sandeep Ghosh, try to cover up the tragedy. Initially, he did not file a complaint, which led to it being called an unnatural death. And then what was the urgency in rehabilitating the disgraced principal within a few hours? Finally, why have no further arrests been made since the CBI took over? Now, let's be clear, it's not the CBI's job to answer these questions to us, the media. It's their job to solve the case and then give us details later in a press briefing. But then we must also ask ourselves, was the same liberty given to the state police when they were handling the probe? I don't think so. Let me go across to my guest joining us, Raj Chowdhury, spokesperson of the BJP, Saket, Gokhale, MP of Rajya Sabha and national spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, Dr. Pooja Tripathi, spokesperson of the Congress, Yashovardhan Azad, former IAS officer, Dr. Rohan Krishnan, chairman of FIMA Doctors Association. Thank you all for joining me at this point. Saket Gokhale, let me start with you at this point. Mamata Banerjee today comes up with a very fiery speech in which she continually says that the CBI has not acted. It's been 16 days and we have still not heard anything from the CBI. And she's also saying that we are now going to come up with an anti-rape legislation which will ensure that cases will be heard. I'm not sure of the time frame she mentioned, but say in X number of days, cases will be heard and justice will be delivered. Isn't that putting the cart before the horse? Because the question is on the lapses which led to the crime happening in terms of why Sanjay Roy was allowed to wear Kolkata insignia, why did Ajikar not have CCTV cameras, and then why was the police caught napping when an entire mob attacked the hospital at this point here? Is this an attempt to deviate the issue, Saket Gokhale?
Hi, good evening, Mr. Bhattacharya. No, it is not, because I want to because as you rightly said, there has been a lot of confusion, misinformation going around on this issue. No, the accused was never given police insignia to wear. That's a uniform. And CCTV footage, in fact, is what has corroborated. A lot of news channels have gotten copies of CCTV footage, which has shown the presence of the accused at the spot. Now, I'll tell you, there was a certain media advisor to the INB ministry who, when this incident happened, 2 days later gave a big statement saying CCTV footage has been destroyed. We now know there is nothing of that sort that has happened. See, there is a very simple, basic question here. One, say this on the record, on your show, with all humility. We do 99 things right. We might get them wrong. In this case, could we have done things better? Yes, we could. Could we have handled the entire thing better? Yes, we could. I admit that. I completely admit that. There is no disagreeing about it. We have not been perfect. But at least solutions are found when you're willing to admit that there have been lapses or you could have done better. A party like the BJP, the central government, have never even accepted in 10 years that they can even ever make a mistake. But I don't want to go into that. The CBI has a case, which is the tragic, the heinous rape and murder of this doctor at Ajikar Hospital. That is one case. Second, they've taken the principal, they've opened a corruption case against him, which was taken from the West Bengal SIT, in fact, handed over by the court to the CBI. Now the question is, with whatever we've been seeing in the media, the CBI seems to be on the corruption case. Our logic is very simple. You prosecute that principal. If he's found guilty of corruption, CBI, ED, you lock him up forever. What does that have to do with the rape and murder case? If in the last 16 days, CBI has had the probe, the accused has done a lie detector test, he's gone into judicial custody, no one else has been arrested, what is stopping the CBI from filing the charge sheet in this case? Fine, as you rightly said, there is no need to give an update. But if investigation is going on, we either see some action, or if the investigation is completed, then why is a charge sheet not being filed? The question then is whether the CBI is keeping the pot boiling just so that BJP can carry on their political agenda. Second thing, as far as the protests go, let me tell you today, I don't know too many people in India would have known about this, but Kolkata Police Sergeant Debashish Chakraborty lost his eye. It's a stone pelting done by the so-called protesters yesterday. We've had doctors organizations, junior doctors organizations, saying that this protest was not an organic one. It was a BJP protest. They sat out of it. CPM, which attacks Trinamool Congress every day, has also said that this was a BJP protest. Arjun Singh, MP of the BJP, was marching along with them. This was BJP has owned up. The Chhatro Parishad, an unknown organization, their own leaders in a press conference said that they have links with the RSS, that they're all Swayam Sevaks. This is not a protest. This is a motivated plan to
Even if one has
divert
to
from
assume,
the
Saket Gokhale, that this was a BJP protest,
Sure, but
even if one was to assume that this was a BJP protest, that's not a crime, is it?
Yeah, but you can't throw stones and pelt stones at the police. Let me tell you something. If this would have happened in a BJP state, if stone pelting mobs had led to a policeman losing his vision, this BJP government would have run bulldozers on people's houses. We don't do that kind of stuff. In Madhya Pradesh, they claim protesters were stone pelting. They run bulldozers on people's houses. We don't do that. You have the right to protest, yes, but if you use violence, if you use arson, then obviously the police have to maintain law.
Okay. Let me put that question now to Raj Chowdhury, spokesperson of the BJP. Mr. Chowdhury, for the 3 days that the probe was with the Kolkata police, there were questions raised as to why is only one person being arrested. I'm sure there are other people around. There are reports coming in that the woman was gag raped, the principal abetted it, all kinds of speculation came out, and which is why Mamata Banerjee the government was seen as shielding the accused. It's been 16 days and the CBI has taken over. We still don't have any details of anyone else being likely to be arrested as well at this point. So the same question now be raised to the CBI, that they are shielding the accused?
Firstly, good evening to all the viewers of Mirror Now. Though nothing is good in West Bengal, we all are witnessing what is going on in West Bengal. Today, only to cover up the case of Arjikar and to protect the perpetrators and culprits, Mamata Banerjee attacked the students protesting, the doctors, Prime Minister, Northeast, and several such states. So we have to understand why Mamata Banerjee is trying to all this. That irresponsible, insensitive statement made by today. She is speaking in a tone of threat. Firstly, I would like to say you just asked about question on CBI. CBI has already filed a status report in the Supreme Court. CBI has multiple pressure from Calcutta High Court to Supreme Court, from common people. So there is no place to escape. CBI cannot escape. People very organically questioning the nature of which principal was reappointed, the nature of the FIR was launched after 14 hours.
No, my question, Raj Chowdhury is, what are you attacking or criticizing Mamata Banerjee's government on? The investigation is being done by the CBI. It is being monitored by the Supreme Court. Whatever lapses that were there in the initial 3 days and events that led up to that horrific incident will be decided by the CBI, and the Supreme Court is there. The courts have already been very clear in their condemnation of the government's actions here. Now, what is the point of criticizing the Mamata Banerjee government or asking her to resignation? What is she in charge of right now in terms of this investigation which she's not doing?
To criticize, because you see the tone of Mamata Banerjee, the way she is speaking, she is threatening the protesting doctors. Why is she doing this? If she wants justice, she would have done necessary things to deliver justice. She's trying to protect the culprits from the day one. Why did she appointed that principal who already resigned? Why did she write letters of a happy birthday to Sandeep Ghosh? There is a strong nexus. We want justice as well as we want that nexus to be exposed. And to expose that nexus, Mamata Banerjee has to resign. Because we need an environment, a proper unbiased environment, so that CBI can investigate the case very properly. A mob of 7,000 entered inside the hospital and they vandalized the crime spot. The Kolkata police kept saying that no, the crime spot has not been vandalized. In court, we saw the justice said that in the 30 years of their experience, they never saw such a case. Why? Because Kolkata police is involved in this.
No, but the crime spot has not been vandalized.
Why? How
the crime spot has not been vandalized? Let me just put some things clear.
A mob of 7,000 enter inside a hospital. There is a police outpost in the hospital.
Fair enough. Those are legitimate questions. How did the mob gather? And the Kolkata police has admitted it was their fault. Heads have rolled? Of course they should have, which they have not. But at this point, if come back to issues like tone and tenor of Mamata Banerjee, I don't know whether that logic stands really at this point. Let me bring in also Dr. Tripathi, spokesperson of the Congress. Do you share the belief of the BJP, Dr. Tripathi, that in order to ensure that there is a truly impartial atmosphere for the CBI, which is a central body to work, the Chief Minister must resign.
Ritangshu, the case was mind-numbing. The brutality of the tragedy, there should be no, still gives us sleepless nights. And I'll be very honest with you. Day one, how this has been handled reeks of irresponsibility, reeks of, there has been lacunae, there has been inconsistency, and the case was given to CBI. Fair enough. You just
Handled by
shared in
who?
your
The state government or the
CBI?
CBI? Because two agencies have handled it from day one.
Exactly,
Dr.
I'm saying,
Tripathi,
but
two agencies. So when you say from day one it has been handled wrong, by both, are you saying that?
yeah. So what astonishes me, what saddens me is the duality of Bharatiya Janata Party in this whole case. This democracy has been birthed and nurtured on protest. You were free to go and protest on the streets of Kolkata. The same Bharatiya Janata Party which files 700 FIRs and Badla against the protesters who stopped who did a rail roko andolan and FIR, the same Bharatiya Janata Party which called the protesting wrestlers as political stooges, anti-CA protesters, anti-national, the same Bharatiya Janata Party is doing press conferences and asking everyone to, that Mamata is not allowing them to protest. Why did they need a West Bengal Chhatra Parishad, if I'm not naming it rightly? The person called Shubhankar Haldar claimed in a press conference that he has been a proud RSS member. The same Bharatiya Janata Party does not hit streets in Farrukhabad, where two minors have been raped and hanged and murdered in Farrukhabad. They don't protest in Rudrapur. So the way they are treating the issue of women's security, the same Bharatiya Janata Party which caused the right to protest, a constitutional right, is attacking the Kolkata police. So why will not, I want to ask my Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, why will Mamata Banerjee not have this tone and tenor? Because if you wanted to protest, you're free to go. A democratic country, it's a protest is a fundamental right, and you could have gone and protested on the streets. You didn't need a shadow of Chhatra Parishad, which JD has, Junior Doctors Association, have distanced themselves. The various student organizations have distanced themselves, and we have seen how they have been violent on the streets. Could have gone and you just did not need a shady name and a shady organizations to protest. But the problem is when you are protest against protest in Badlapur, protest in Farrukhabad, and don't make it a political score point. This tragedy is used. The collective call of justice has been just.
There are certain things I don't understand, which is why I began. There are certain things I don't understand, which is why I began my address with saying that we stay in very strange times here. West Bengal, if there's one state which has had a rich history of protests and bandh, it's West Bengal, and yet now we have had a political protest becoming a bad. Firstly, let's assume that the BJP was behind the protest. That's not a crime. Whether it gets a shadow outfit to do it, whether it gets a spontaneous effort. Again, in retrospect, a lot of people know about what happened with India against corruption as well, but nobody's ever accused that movement of being a political movement. Second is, and let me get in Raj Chowdhury at this point before I go on to my other two guests. Raj Chowdhury, the Prime Minister has called people who love to protest on the streets, who love to bring the state machinery to a halt as Andolan. So if I can bring those visuals of those four leaders of the BJP around me at this point, today Locket Chatterjee, Shuvendhu Adhikari, all these people decided to become Andolan GVs.
Firstly, I would like to answer Congress spokesperson that maybe she is unaware that their own leader, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, he went to court to take permission for a rally which held today. So even Congress also knows that they have to go to court to organize protest. Secondly, what you are saying about Andolan GV, see, let's not get diverted because this is in West Bengal, the protest which is going on in Bengal, it is a people's movement, a students' outrage. So if we want justice to prevail, I think the voices have to come up. But what Mamata Banerjee is trying to do will be met with serious resentments from people. That's it.
So it's okay. So it's okay when the BJP decides to have a protest, that time an Andolan is justified in people's interest. When other parties or other people protest, they're Andolan GVs. Fair enough. Dr. Rohan Krishnan, chairman of the Farmer Doctors Association, let me bring you in at this point. Have we forgotten that this was actually supposed to be about Devi the woman who faced that unspeakable crime? Because it seems, if I go by the headlines, if I go by the sound bites that we have got on our channel, the protest seems to become anything about that for the doctors here. There have been accusations that the doctor's body has tried to hijack it to make it more about the medical fraternity rather than a woman who was raped and murdered at a workplace. Politicians have been accused of hijacking the protest, whether it be the opposition or the government has now decided to bring the focus on an anti-rape law. Has this protest already been diverted and hijacked beyond what it was supposed to mean, which is why perhaps we didn't see doctors joining the protest yesterday?
Yes, unfortunately, you see that I believe the political system in this country has stooped so low that the cause is lost somewhere and we are not able to find the cause. Right now, the protest should have been about getting justice to the student of the RG Medical College, getting her justice in a quick manner, getting people arrested in a quick manner, getting the conviction in a quick manner. But unfortunately, all the things seems to be lost. And right now we are speaking about whether Mamata Banerjee should resign, or whether the Andolankaris of BJP are good, or whether the Andolankaris of Congress and XYZ party is good or bad. So the main agenda, the main motto and the cause is lost somewhere. So it is very unfortunate. It must be, if the soul of the child must be crying today, that in the national TV, we are, instead of discussing about pain and agony that the girl has felt, we are discussing something that is entirely different. That whether questions were being raised when they were raped in other state, in other places, and what Mamata Banerjee ji is also saying, and what the other political parties are saying. But I must warn all political parties that the citizens of the country is watching us, and they are going to question everything when the time comes, when the actual time comes. So we have to be vigilant about it. And about anybody grasping the protest or anybody taking advantage of these kinds of protests is something which is very shocking and which is very bad. One must understand that right now we are fighting for a cause, and the cause is that this lady who was on duty, who must have saved some lives on the night where her life was not being saved by the state government. The state government was wrong in the initial 3-4 days, be it when it came to covering up the entire incident by the principal. The principal is now being removed from Indian Medical Association as a member as well, and that principal who was reinstated in 4.5 hours, that was wrong. It was wrong that this was presumed to be or shown to be, or it was decided that it could have been a suicide case, and registering the FIR as unnatural, then hitting the protesting doctors, the police attacking the protesting doctor, then a mob comes and vandalizing. All these things were wrong on the part of Mamata Banerjee's government. But right now, from 16 days, the CBI needs to focus and needs to take some initiative and immediate action to show that the justice is not getting delayed and the agenda is not lost in all the political mug pitting.
But the CBI, and we'll try to get Ashwardhan Azad on that, the CBI cannot be held, or any investigating agency cannot be held ransom to, okay, we need updates every day, we need to tell you, you need to tell us on media where the direction is handling, is the other accused or not. It can't be made a puppet for us to feed our conspiracy theories. Saket, let me bring the attention to the statement Mamata Banerjee said about, if you think BJP is going, if you think Bengal can be made to burn by BJP, we will ensure that Jharkhand, Bihar, I mean, the list of other BJP states along Delhi will burn as well. The question is, history has shown us that political parties who have mistaken the people's anger to be the handiwork of their opposition have always suffered. We saw what happened to the Congress government both in Delhi and in the center after UPA. Is Mamata Banerjee a leader who once became infamous for calling a student on a media platform who raised a question by calling her a Maoist and walking away? Is Mamata Banerjee making the cardinal sin of brushing all opposition, all criticism of her as a political movement, and therefore being blind to the genuine anger on the streets of Kolkata, genuine anger in the streets of West Bengal, and about all citizens, about her letting down a citizen?
Mr. Bhattacharya, as somebody like you who's also followed Bengal for a long time, Mamata Banerjee is a person who is far more connected with the people of Bengal than any of us here can hope to ever be. Now, I'm going to dwell on something in a TV show 12 years ago. What I'm going to talk about is right now and give you an example. Exactly. I was sitting right in this chair about 3 months ago when the media was asking me exactly the same question about Sandesh Khali. The BJP went on and on about it. And people are saying, is Mamata Banerjee not understanding this anger of the people? Then exit polls that said BJP will get 30 seats and Trinamool. What happened at the end of it? Because we knew Mamata Banerjee does not need the BJP to come and tell her how to run a state. The BJP are the ones who haven't understood the pulse of the people of Bengal. By what they did yesterday, by throwing stones at the police, by indulging in arson, the people of Bengal have seen what is going on. See, don't underestimate the Bengali voter. They're very smart, smarter than the BJP leaders can ever hope to be. And they've seen what's happening. We are not trying to brush the protests under the carpet. No, we are not. We understand. What did I start this show by saying, Mr. Bhattacharya? I said, I admit there were lapses. The principal should not have been appointed that way. He should have been sent on a leave or he should have been suspended. I admit that. And we have said that right from day one. But it is also important to understand, the BJP spokesman was earlier saying, look at the tone of talking of Mamata Banerjee. I'm sorry, but this is the culture of their party. A woman who is noisy, a woman who is outspoken, they try to tone police her. Doesn't matter. But what these people don't understand is that if you're going to hijack a genuine protest and try to create political instability, a Mamata Banerjee is very humble in front of the people of Bengal, but a Mamata Banerjee will stand and defend the state of West Bengal anytime somebody like the BJP tries to come, snap people's emotions, hijack them and use it for their own limited political agendas. Fight politically. But why are you trying to turn the issue of justice to the very innocent victim? Why are you trying to do politics on that? As you said, Sushant Rajput, same thing. Can we let her rest in peace? Can we ensure she gets justice? You fight us politically, we have no issues whatsoever. You fight, do anything. Can we leave this matter aside and can we together, Abhishek Banerjee to the rally said, can we together, BJP as the government at the center, we are ready for it. Can we bring in a law that ensures fast-track trials for rape victims? Because this is not just about Kolkata. This is about UP, as the Congress spokesperson rightly said. This is about Maharashtra. This is about Uttarakhand. This is about a lot of other states which have seen these incidents happening in the last 15 days as well. And no rape is bigger and no rape is small. I think as politicians, we need to develop some sort of a conscience on an issue like this. Let's put politics aside, get together.
I agree. No
fight
rape.
us politically.
I agree.
Don't
No
do
rape
this.
is bigger. No rape is small. No, Mr.
Don't do
Gokhale,
this.
the point
Don't
which I have,
deny
the issue which
justice
I
to
have
victims.
with this, it's very easy to say don't deny justice to the victim, but you know, by coming up with a stringent law in retrospective, that's not going to do justice to what happened to Devi, and that's also not going to do justice to what happened to Nirbhaya. We have had strong legislation that have come up ever since Nirbhaya happened. The problem is, what are the circumstances that lead to in these incidents happening at this point? You mentioned at the beginning of your remarks, Mr. Gokhale, that the CCTV camera is what caused Sanjay Gokhale. The CCTV cameras inside the room where she was sitting, they were not operational. What the CCTV cameras have found out is they found this accused going inside. They found this accused coming out without a Bluetooth headpiece, which they have matched with the Bluetooth headset near the body, and as a result, they have conjuncted the only man who entered this building and came out was this accused who's been taken into custody. That doesn't explain why, and from all evidences, this victim went through a massive struggle. It doesn't explain why nobody found out, nobody tried to stop it, whether he had from someone who was already inside the base, we don't know. There are questions. You mentioned that he was not a part of the Kolkata police. He did. Our reporters have confirmed that he did strut around calling himself a member of the Kolkata police, which is why he was allowed access to and forward. He did carry out a tout as a which allowed people to get beds in the hospital.
That is pushing it. Anyone can call themselves anything. I mean, I live in Delhi where every second person says, "Tum janta nahi mera baap." That doesn't mean that baap is actually somebody. I think just because he said he's Kolkata police, it's not like we had given him a police ID and we had given him a badge or anything. But let's not get to what you're saying is right. Yes, we need to learn from incidents. Look, every incident we need to understand where the lapses were and learn to do better. But at the same time, if you're telling me that any political party can come and promise to you today that from tomorrow there will not be a single crime happening in this country, come on, let's let us be a little logical about things. Can things be done better? Yes. Will new legislation? No, look, legislation has been created on very different issues. Here we are saying that today, why can we not have fast track courts for gang rape and murder trials? It's not that difficult. We can have the judiciary. We can see, as a parliamentarian, I can bring a law in parliament. As a part of the government, my party can introduce certain measures in the city. Who holds the judiciary accountable when an Ajmer rape case gets decided after 31 years? Who is asking questions of the judiciary, for instance? You know, I've seen everyone saying we have faith in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has given a healing touch. Why couldn't the Supreme Court put this case onto a fast track? Why has the Calcutta High Court, why did we have to wait for the Supreme Court to take cognizance? The Calcutta High Court could have ordered CBI to give day-to-day status updates, but the Calcutta High Court did not. Eventually, the Supreme Court had to so moto step in. So why did the Calcutta High Court not ask the CBI to give day-to-day updates? Why has the Calcutta High Court not put in place a fast track court and directed a sessions judge will hear this on a fast track matter? The Calcutta High Court has not said that. So the question is, every institution has a job to perform. We can perform what is within our capacities. But if only the judiciary performs, if the executive performs in isolation, if only legislature performs in isolation, when everyone have a solution, just like only the TMC or the BJP individually can't find a solution, all institutions have to come together, all parties have to come together. This is an issue that affects every state of
Mr.
India.
Gokhale, it has to start with accountability.
It affects every state.
It has to start with accountability, and accountability, in my opinion, needs to start with the person who took the decision of reinstituting Mr. Sandeep within a few hours of him deciding to step down or being transferred as principal. He gave a soundbite saying he's stepping down. That's why I'm saying that. Accountability has to start with the Kolkata police for not being able to prevent this man. If I today say one statement wrong, I'll get a notice from Kolkata police on social media. So I refuse to believe that Kolkata police was blind and to this man acting as a low-level cop and saying that, oh, we don't know he was calling himself a cop.
No,
and also accountability from the Kolkata police for not being able. One second, Mr. Gokhale.
You say it's written on somebody's that this guy might be a rapist.
Mr. Gokhale.
I'm sorry, but that would be perfect in this country. We'll lock all of them up immediately, preemptively.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that if this man pretends, if tomorrow if I try and impersonate to be a public officer, then I am liable to be prosecuted. And the fact that this man was doing so and was not caught by anyone is a big question mark. Anyway, Raj Chowdhury, Saket, Banerjee, and our report. Anyway, Dr. Gokhale, we all know our reports have confirmed that he did have a sticker on his car, on his bike. Reports, which will not say that we are sure or not, but there are reports that he did stay in a barrack. But that's the point. If every institution, whether it be the government or the opposition or the judiciary, tries to point fingers and not answer for accountability, it's all easy to say that we need a solution. But it has to be accountability, and heads must roll. Anyway, Raj Chowdhury, spokesperson BJP, Mr. Saket Gokhale, Dr. Pooja Tripathi, and also Dr. Rohan Krishna, thank you so much for joining us on this debate.